And that's where we will see, and we're a long ways away, but in 2024, as to whether Michigan's, I will say, uh, decent recruiting efforts will catch up with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Decent, I think even being a little generous, I think in some areas. You've made it to 2 playoff appearances and you've won 2 Big Ten championships and beat your rivals. Um, I think that the flirtation, maybe with the NFL, maybe the NIL, not name, image, likeness, not being where it should be, all of those things are probably factors, as we know from what Cade McNamara said, right, on the Jordan Palmer podcast. Which, if you haven't listened to that, I know it's painful, guys. I know it's painful. But if you want to have an objective look at college football, you got to look at these things. And he made some real, I think it was one of the most interesting interviews in a way, because you don't normally get that player perspective. I think you get the media perspective, which they have their own agenda, right? They have their own kind of things that they want to get clicks. It was refreshing almost, even though Cade did take 1 or 2 shots at us at various points on his way out. I think it was interesting to hear that Iowa and Nebraska have a solid NIL setup, right? So that was something I didn't know before listening to that, and also just how the recruiting process actually goes, like versus what you think you know versus what you actually know. So I recommend, even though it's painful, it's almost like taking your medicine, but like it's still interesting to me to hear about that, and that might be a reason, I think, for the recruiting, some of the recruiting challenges that have existed.
Well, sometimes one of the best ways to find out what really is going on in a particular program is to listen to the players and the coaches that have left the program, because obviously the players and coaches that are currently in the program are going to give you the best side of things and going to play it close to the vest, typically. And understandably, they're trying to protect the brand and protect their locker room and their guys. And but to hear from, even though it might be tainted slightly with a little bad blood and a little bit of resentment,
And Jordan Palmer purposefully egging him on. Yeah.
yeah,
I think Cade handled that pretty well, actually, because I think Jordan like was trying to get some stuff out of him, like
yeah,
trying to get the clickbait, trying to get the drama. And Cade, for the most part, was tried to be kind of Switzerland on it, kind of neutral in
yep.
terms of not like panning one particular school. So it's an interesting perspective, and one that we don't really get very often.